Good morning or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adesoji Oni. I am from the Department of Educational Foundations, Faculty of Education, University of Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a sociologist of education and I've been teaching and researching in the area of sociology and foundations of education. The title of my presentation is Understanding and Developing the Best Mentoring Practices in the University. Understanding and developing the best mentoring practices in the university. I will be talking about just 5 issues in my discussion. My outline is on the 5 issues. I will have a preamble. I have something on part one. We'll be talking about understanding mentoring practices at the university, how to develop mentoring practices at the university level, and I will make a summary and I will as well come to conclusion. Now, to start with, permit me to ask a question. And the question is, who is a mentor? Who is a mentee? What is the differences between a coach and a mentor? When we talk about mentor, a mentor is a wise counselor, a tutor, a trainer, or more or less a senior experienced colleague appointed to help, note that word, to help and advise junior employee. On the other side, a mentee is a person under the direction of a mentor. There's something you need to know from the definition above, that a mentor advise, give a wise counsel, a tutor or a trainer is appointed to do that job. What is the difference between coach and a mentor? Mentoring is a method of training. So mentoring is at times often confused with coaching. In other words, what I'm trying to say here, at times, people confuse mentoring with coaching, whereas they are not the same. Hence, so we will look at the differences between coaching and mentoring. If you look at the table in my slide, there are certain features, 3 columns there. I have a column on features, on coach or mentor. I mean in table 1 of my slide, which contain 4 distinguished features between a coach and a mentor. 1, duration, attachment, targets, and evaluation. For a coach, the duration is that he has a very short relationship with the trainee, while the mentor has a very long and wider relationship with the trainee. In terms of coach, he is attached to the trainee. A mentor is detached from the trainee. So for a coach, he targets specific area of skills that he wants to develop the trainee, while the mentor targets development, a general development in terms of academic, in terms of career, in terms of family, and in terms of health. And at the end of the day, when we now look at the evaluation, the coach corrects instantly and shows samples of how that thing should be done. Whereas a mentor adopts caution and shows support to the trainee. So in other words, the features, duration, attachment, target, and evaluation are the basic distinguishing feature of a coach and a mentor. Now, why formalized mentoring practices in university? Why do we have formalized mentoring practices in the university? The reason why we have formalized mentoring practice in university is to meet the highest expectation of public for a production of total graduates, an all-round graduates, particularly who require to use a mentoring approach for both mentors, members of academic staff, and their students. We have a lot of these that is explained on the slide in terms of the differences between the mentoring practices in private universities and as well as in public university. And what are these criteria? We talk about the market, that the two product of that institution will go, competitive force, we talk about the strategic base, and we talk about the language of strategy. So irrespective of the sector, mentoring is necessary in the professional development of young scholars. A professional stands on three pillars. What am I trying to say here? Every profession stands on three pillars. One, professional standard. Two, professional competence. Three, professional ethics. So in this area, mentors are needed to make young people to understand the need to meet international standard in all aspects of their university life. They required an experienced, a dependable individual to guide them to professional competence. They need help to comply with professional ethics in learning, in teaching, in doing research, and in rendering all manner of services pertaining to their academic progression. So in the next slide, we have four major areas where mentoring are required for total professional development of young lecturer in the university. And what are these areas? In the area of teaching, in the area of research, in the area of services to students and society. So now, having looked at all this, can we see the advantages of mentoring in practice? While research and empirical evidence has shown that mentoring could be an effective way of helping both students and staffs. For instance, there was a study by the Big Brother, Big Sister of America that shows that young people who had a consistently caring and supportive adult as mentor, they were significantly less likely to try drugs. They have better school attendance and academic performances, and they are less likely to experience violence. So it has been demonstrated that new employees who are paired with mentors to obtain information, good example and advice as they advance at twice, are unlikely to remain in their job than those who do not get mentorship. In other words, mentoring is very important to all profession. So this takes us to a deeper understanding of how the mentorship work. How does mentorship work? We move to the second part of this presentation, understanding mentoring practices at the university level. In the next table in the slide, it contains 5 building blocks for understanding mentorship at the university level. We have this block that cover the context, that cover the matching, that covers relationship, that cover roles, that cover responsibility, and so on. In other words, this explains the areas in which we build mentorship at the university level. Now, if you look at the first building block, it's in the context. There are 3 contextual arrangements there. Informal arrangement, in which mentoring practices are located outside the university. So this arrangement, we are talking in terms of communities-based, home-based, even in mosque, even in church, and even in a kind of work-based mentoring. The formal arrangement in which mentoring practice is located is within the department, the college, and the university. And we also have the third one, which is the referral system, in which complex mentoring issues are referred to higher levels of more experienced people. Once the issue of context is settled here, the next step to decide on the type of matching that will be employed is the voluntary approach. Here, we are trying to explain to understand the matching method. The voluntary approach here involves a situation where the mentoring relationship naturally evolves without any official arrangement to match a mentee with a mentor. This type of unofficial matching system is commonly practiced in more public universities across the world. Then we also have the mandatory matching system. This become obligatory. This is necessary for a senior member of the academic staff to have some junior member of staff as mentee. So to maximize the advantage of both methods, the university need to combine some aspect of volunteerism volunteerism with good aspect of mandatory matching so as to arrive at a sustainable mentorship. So when we talk about this matching, matching might be on one-on-one or group matching. If it is one-on-one, 12 mentees might be under the mentorship of a senior colleague without necessarily knowing each other. Whereas in the case of a group mentorship, the 12 mentees under the mentorship of a senior colleague will know each other, work together time and again and again. So in this age of ICT, there is the electronic mentorship all over the world. You have mentors miles and far away from you, in which large number of the mentees are brought together under the mentorship of that senior colleague with the use of official networking approach such as a Google Group, even in Zoom nowadays, and a lot of things like that. So, three type of how do what do we mean by understanding mentoring relationship? Three type of relationship are that of mentoring practices. What are these? We have parental relationship, we have partnership relationship, and we have professional relationship. What do we mean by parental relationship? This is a situation where the senior mentor relate to the mentee as a parent, like their parent. Under this type of mentoring relationship, the mentee is expected to relate to, regard, respect to the mentor like his own parent. Partnership relationship here is more of side by side and at times heart to heart attachment. Down, top down link between the mentor and mentee. So under the partnership relationship, the mentee is regarded as a junior co-worker, a colleague, or a heartfelt companion of the mentor. And the last mentoring relationship is professional relationship. So here, it is aimed at continuous improvement of the professional or the intellectual capability of a young person for a long time. So professional mentorship is more or less of head-on and hand-on activities, head-on and hand-on activities between the mentor and the mentee. So a comprehensive mentoring practice normally combine the three types of relationship. Since a mentor is a trusted advisor, that is a father, he is a confidant, that is a friend, and as well an experienced professional. So relationship in mentoring is supposed to grow when the association is spiced with common experience, with continual encouragement, with concerned expression and challenging expectation. So what am I trying to say here? A mentor who started as a father might end up as a friend. In similar vein, a mentor who started as a master might end up as a model, while the mentor who started as a coach might end up as a colleague. I don't want to, there's a figure there. I don't want to bother you so much about that figure, changing the mentoring pedagogy in relation to the level of readiness displayed by a mentee. And what are the things that I try to link there? I try to link participation, selling, delegation, and telling, that is in terms of what the mentor, the authority possess, in terms of the authority, what he possess. So here, the next one is that how do we understand roles and responsibility? We are going to mention the three major roles of a mentor. He play a parental role, he play a partnership role, like a peer or a friend, and he play the role of a professional role, that is a master. Where should a mentor spend majority of the time? Mentor are expected to spend majority of the time to provide wings of the mentee to soar, wings for the mentee to soar beyond the mentor. That is, the aim of the mentor is that he wants the mentee to be able to do more than what he as a mentor could do. Handle for the mentee to grasp practices and pass it on to others so that what he is learning, the mentee will be able to pass it to others. And experimental laboratories for the mentee to practice what he's learned. And roadmap for mentees to know where they are, roles to take, and the roles not to take. And as well, the responsibility of a mentee is to establish a root or principle in their vocation and be empowered to break barriers of learning, career, family formation, ethic, leadership, and civic engagement. What are you trying to say here? There has been research, particularly a study in the USA, on the main responsibility of a mentor at the school level. And the study revealed that mentors spend most of their time on four main activities, from one to the least, to two to the last, to the public private. What are the issues they spend their time on? Personal issue, playing sport or games with the mentee, professional issues or academic matters, as well as public engagement of social activities. So in other words, what are you trying to see here is that the responsibility of a mentor is to lift up the mentee. He provides challenges, partners where necessary, passionately point out ways out and what to do. He previews failures and success factors to the mentee. He pardons non-performance. He pushes for better future for the mentee. He raises excellence performance of the mentee. So to perform to expectation now, a mentor needs to possess the following 7 attributes. He must be enthusiastic about mentee's visions and goals. He must be conscious of the mentee's visions and goals. He must be an experienced person in choosing career, that is, in the problem he wants to solve in the mentee. He must be a specialist. He must be exposed. That is, he has a lot of professional connections. He must empower, facilitate participations. He must be endowed. What do I mean by endowed here? He must be well-resourced. And he must be ego neutral. What do I mean by ego neutral is that he must be selfless. And the age differences, he must be a kind of esteemed individual with age differences of maybe between 8 to 15 years. In other words, the mentor-mentee relationship is not a thing that should be abused. A mentee should possess also the following 7 attributes. That mentee that want to learn from the mentor must be purpose-driven regarding the call and role. He must be pupils or servant heart, that is, must be submissive, patiently wait to become an authority, play down former ambition, all those ego in him or her, he must play it down. Preference for authority of mentor. He must have what? Respect for that authority or mentor. He must pursue good mentor, prepare to grow and develop. So these are the distinguishing characteristics that a mentor and a mentee must possess. Now, the other part, the third leg of this presentation is that how do we now develop mentoring practices at the university level? I have a figure there in my slide, figure 2, which shows the developmental phases of mentoring relationship in the university. I have what I call the interaction, the intermingling, and the interdependence. The intermingling is institutional based with identification. The interaction is intimidation, influencing, and the way to inspire. And while the independence is involving a kind of immersion, a kind of independence. So in the face of intermingling, it is important to know that students, members of the academics have various needs. They have so many kinds of needs, different kinds of needs. So a single mentor might not be able to help mentee to overcome all challenges regarding work of life. It cannot help him in all subjects. Besides, there should be effort made to carefully identify which mentor is suitable at university level to handle which aspect of mentee's training or mentee's problem. At the interaction level, we need to identify the key players and spell out the modality for matching the relationship expected or unacceptable the roles and the responsibilities of the actors. And also, we should know that getting two strangers to relate intimately is gradual and very difficult process. A very difficult process because when you move them together, for them to be able to adjust, I mean, take a very long time. And once there's an intimate relationship between the mentee and the mentor, the other two process of influencing and inspiring the mentee become very easy. So on the independence, disengagement could be turbulent if care is not taken. The mentor should increasingly get the mentee involved in challenging activity until the mentee become deeply immersed. What matters is what happens when the mentor is no longer there, whether or not the objective of mentoring has been achieved. So the mentor is expected to follow up the investment even after official disengagement, whether he has mastered it or not. Now, what am I trying to say here, ladies and gentlemen? As many as good the aspect of mentoring are, the challenges are so many. The most serious challenge is the emotional attachment. It is natural for human relationship to grow closer, but the temptation to shift mentoring relationship to morally debased rapport should be discouraged by institutional measures. Spelling out the clear term, the role, responsibility, rules that guide mentoring relationship in a university so that the mentoring relationship will not degenerate into an unholy affair. So it is crucial that those who are appointed as mentor should be people of undoubted integrity. People who can raise their integrity high up that they will not go into any kind of unethical and immoral affair with the student or with the mentee. On the other hand, mentee should be purpose driven with pupil's heart. He's a learner. He should be patient to wait to become an authority before seeking independence. What am I trying to say in conclusion is that considering the general reported proven benefit of school-based mentoring to both students and staff and institutions of higher learning, both in public and private universities, should be actively encouraged. It should be formalized. There should be a kind of formalized mentorship to boost training and learning from both work and life. Nevertheless, as an incentive, the criteria for promotion to the grade of professor or senior colleagues in academics, as well as those for the appointment of emeritus professor, must also include evidence of mentorship. That is, before you get to that peak of that career, you must be able to show that you have mentor one, you have mentor two, you have mentor three, you have mentor four. What am I trying to say? The way publication matters in our career as university before we become professor, mentorship, evidence of mentorship should also be included. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate being part of this conference. Thank you. and remain blessed.
So thank you very much, Professor Oni, for your video presentation record. Now, because of the unstable of the internet connection, Professor Oni could not answer the question of our participant right now. And this question will be answered in the forums. Excellency, honorable guest speaker around the globe, ladies and gentlemen, so here come to the end of our session today. So thank you very much for your valuable time and participation today. One more important thing, if you want a certificate, please click on the link to register for the certificate that we have dropped in the chat box. So see you tomorrow. Please stay safe from COVID-19. Thank you.